welcome to Superscreen News at 6, broadcasting to you live from Lagos State, Nigeria. I am Olamide Onwuka. Many thanks for joining us. Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has come under every scrutiny from Nigerians over his failure to withdraw policemen attached to some important personalities, especially politicians and other private sector players. Report says thousands of policemen are still guarding former political office holders, including former senators, former governors, and former House of Representative members, as well as businessmen who are enjoying police protection at the expense of the public. You will recall that the Inspector General had announced the withdrawal of the policemen on March 19th and gave April 20th as deadline. However, report shows the majority of the personnel had yet to return to their respective commands a month after the deadline expired. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has lamented the continuous detention of Lia Sharibu by Boko Haram insurgents. The Waziri of Adamawa described the ordeal of Lia Sharibu as a psychological despair in the hearts of many Nigerians and called for an immediate solution to the saga. Atiku, a presidential aspirant of the People's Democratic Party, said this in commemoration of the year Children's Day 2018. The former vice president also urged the authorities to think of ways to lessen the burden of children in the quest for a good life. A Nigerian advocacy group, Autism Parents Association International, APAI, made up of parents of children of the autism spectrum, has called on the government of Nigeria and as well as Nigerians to remember children with autism who have to push beyond barriers to actualize themselves. President of APAI, Angela Emuwa, said children with autism are not sick, but are just different, and called on Nigerians to spare a thought for the Nigerian child with autism. Emuwa said early diagnosis and intervention makes a lot of difference in eventual outcomes, as some children have been known to recover fully and many more have learned to live their adulthood and fulfill their own purpose in life, albeit differently. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, has charged the newly inaugurated commissioners of the Public Complaints Commission, PCC, to prevent acts of injustice and abuse of power amongst Nigerians. Speaking at the inauguration, Saraki said the commissioners must be proactive and focused in the discharge of their duties. He also said the PCC is the sole agency under the National Assembly with significant roles in strengthening the government institutions and Nigerian economy.
The Commission therefore has this one-time role in the area of anti-corruption, fight against anti-corruption, corruption and anti-corruption, which functions to prevent corruption by providing a very good ability for Nigerians and even foreigners resident in Nigeria to seek redress against injustice. For the years in which the Commission has been set up, as already highlighted also in the Speaker's address, lots of people, lots of Nigerians are not aware of this Commission. It is my wish and my hope, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of the entire national team, that I hope that it is under your time that you try to put the PCC, Public Complaints Commission, in the right position it deserves in our government structure.
The Speaker, House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, represented by the Chief Whip of the House, Alassane Ado, said many Nigerians are unaware of the Commission's existence, even though it has been for 43 years. However, the Chief Commissioner of the PCC, Chilehi Igbawa, pledged the Commission's readiness to justify the confidence reposed in the appointees by carrying out the mandate diligently and consciously.
I wish to point out, sadly, that many Nigerians still do not know of the existence of the Commission, even though it has existed for 35 years. Many newer agencies have been making waves and impact in the lives of Nigerians. The Commission may be working hard and making impact, but it is not known by a majority of Nigerian people. You therefore need to step up your activities and also publicize the same. Maybe you need to conduct public hearings on your investigations to involve Nigerians in whatever you may be doing?
We pledge therefore that we shall execute our mandate with utmost integrity, sincerity, and sense of purpose. We also pledge that we shall lift the image of this institution, not just to international standards, but to standards that become reference point for other jurisdictions.
People's Democratic Party (PDP) chieftains in Delta North have disagreed over Peter Wangboshi's alleged bribery gift ahead of the party primaries. 98 refrigerators were said to have been shared amongst the leaders of various wards, while those believed to be in his bad books were skimmed out. Party members who were skimmed out attacked supporters of the beneficiaries at the Cenotaph Center in Asaba, where the 98 refrigerators were shared. Director General Senator Wangboshi Campaign Organization Frank Nwungo, they said the party remains the most organized party in Africa, and they said it is normal for people to grumble in cases of this sharing of gifts. Innocent boss Innocent Chukwuma has appealed a judgment of a Lagos High Court declaring him wanted. Chukwuma has also proceeded to the Court of Appeal to challenge the order. In his reaction to the court's judgment, Chukwuma described the action as predetermined in order to humiliate him. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had preferred charges against bordering on forgery and fraud against a businessman arising from a business dispute between Chukwuma and GT Bank. A similar charge on the same subject matter, transactions and issues ongoing at the Federal High Court Lagos Division between both parties. And no fewer than 100 prisoners in Anambra State have benefited from a free medical outreach of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) as part of events marking the 45th anniversary of the Corps. Coordinator of NYSC in the state, Ebenezer Olawale, disclosed this to journalists in Awka. Olawale said the scheme had done well in the last 45 years in executing its mandate of building bridges across the country. The coordinator described Anambra as one of the safest states for Corps members in the country and thanked God for good security atmosphere existing in the state. You're watching Superscreen News at 6. We'll take a breakdown. When we return, we'll take some business stories. Stay with us.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice. At least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigeria government are keeping quiet. Housemen are killing people. Why?
It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family.
You are affecting my village. Let me use if I call it useless, I'm not a mistake. The other place where they build a shop, call it plaza. Say each shop got 4 million naira. So I don't have the money, so I have to leave. If you plan to get a tribal mark, it takes a lot of pain, but after some time, you enjoy it. No, we experience hold up now during the construction time. Then after some time, we start enjoying it.
The way they are doing the construction is too slow. It's too slow. The construction is too slow. They should stop the construction and make sure people go into their businesses and do their businesses.
Welcome back to Superscreen News at 6, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. And now for some business stories. Report says the 3 tiers of government must soon have their monthly allocation from the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee increased, as the Federation Account FAC is targeting 1 trillion naira for the monthly disbursement. Chairman, FAC Commissioner of Finance Forum, Mahmoud Yunusa, disclosed the 1 trillion naira allocation target during an interview after the committee's meeting in Abuja. A total of 701.022 billion was shared by the federal government, the state, and the local government as allocation for the month of April. The committee, headed by the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, is made up of commissioners of finance from the 36 states of the Federation and the Accountant General of the Federation and representatives of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and NPC. Others are representatives of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Nigerian Customs Service, Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, as well as the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The nation's crude oil exports have suffered another setback as Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria has shut down production following discovery of leaks on a pipeline in Delta State. The SPDC said it confirmed 4 leak points on its 24 Trans-Ramos pipeline in the swamps of western Niger Delta. According to a statement by Shell spokesperson, as soon as the leaks were noticed on April 24th, the SPDC immediately shut down the production and deployed containment booms, as well as mobilized its oil spill response team to clean up the sites. The pipeline, which supplies crude oil to the Forcados export terminal, has a capacity of around 100,000 barrels per day. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has launched a probe into the controversy surrounding the $16 billion allegedly spent on power projects during the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Obasanjo had earlier in the week declared that he is ready for investigation after President Muhammadu Buhari suggested that funds earmarked for power projects under his term were mismanaged. The scope of the investigation includes the total cost of the projects, the amount withdrawn from the excess crude account, the total number of contracts awarded, the extent of compliance with the due process, and the status of the execution of all the projects. Still talking business, the Association of Food, Beverage and Tobacco Employers, AFBTE, has lamented the high operational cost of doing business in Nigeria. The body said the business environment in the country in the last 1 year had been toxic, adding that although Nigeria came out of a 15-month recession in the second quarter of 2017, the economy is still weak and fragile. The president, AFBTE, Patrick Anegbe, who disclosed this in Lagos, listed part of the challenges to include high costs incurred because of non-existing of inadequate infrastructure, arbitrary imposition of multiple taxes, shortage of foreign exchange, and disruption of petroleum product supply in the country. We'll take another break now. When we return, we'll take some foreign news, plus we'll take some sports stories. Stay with us.